Alyssa Strange, and welcome to another episode of For the Love of Drag. Today we're going to be talking about RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 2, episode number 5. Can you believe there's been 5 episodes already? Because I can't. And this episode is the episode of the Ruvenge, and it is known as Revenge of the Queens. And it is finally our time to find out what exactly these bitches gotta do to get their bottoms back into the competition. So this episode starts off with the eliminated queens walking each and every one of their 2-in-1 looked padded butts back into the workroom to find out what is going on, what's the tea, because apparently a lot is happening because they just heard everything that Fifi was saying. And Alyssa looks pissed. So Alyssa calls Fifi out on it and says, "You got a lot to say, Fifi, why don't you share some of this?" And Fifi kind of doesn't really give her an answer. She just kind of is, they're just kind of going back and forth being like, you know what you did, you're playing a victim. You know what you did, you're playing a victim, or whatever. It's this very back and forth. There's actually no information really being shared between the two of them during this argument. But during this argument, there was some information shared by Ginger Minch, who says, had Alyssa sent Katya home, Ginger would have stopped the whole thing and taken Katya's place and left because she also felt that Katya had more to give. Yet she, on her way out, said that it wasn't a fair game or was like confused as to why Alyssa chose her lipstick. So I'm still a little confused about Ginger and what she's saying there, but that would have made for some good TV had she have stood up and said, actually, I'll take Katya's place in the elimination seat. And you can keep Katya in the competition, but either way, Katya's still there, so whatever. So Ru comes in and explains that the Maxi Challenge is also the Ruvenge of the Queens challenge kind of thing, and it is going to be a comedy challenge played in pairs, and the eliminated queens who win, the two best queens of the comedy competition, the two eliminated queens, will not only lip sync for their legacy, but they will lip sync for their life and their way back into the competition, and also get to eliminate one of the bottom queens, and they still get 10 Gs. So I'm like, damn, Ru is going all out. She knows that these queens are angry and they're gonna want to win because they're gonna want to win their way back in. They're all-stars. They want another shot. So the eliminated queens get to pair up with whoever they want, but it goes in order of who is out last. So Alyssa picks Alaska, even though Alaska just sent her out. Ginger picks Katya because they were best friends or are best friends or whatever. Tatiana picks Detox because she doesn't want to be stuck with Fifi or Roxy. And Coco chooses Fifi because she doesn't want to be stuck with Roxy. So Roxy is then going to MC the night. And if she wins, she gets to send who gets to go home, and she gets to say who gets to stay. Damn! So during the workroom prep, there's a little bit of tension going on, and I'm gonna start by saying that there's a lot of beef kind of happening in this workroom, isn't there? Because the Revenge, people feel like they maybe shouldn't have been sent out when they were, or by who that they were sent out by, or whatever. So there's some tension going on. I'm looking for some answers. So first, while Coco and Fifi are working together, Coco in like the confessional room is saying like, I don't really think Fifi's head is in the game. She seems really distracted by that fight that she had with Alyssa previously. And she's hoping that she gets her head in the game. I'm sure Coco wants to get back into the game. Then Alyssa tells Alaska that she still respects her, she understands her decision, there's no hard feelings, and she's back, she's ready to prove that she's here because like last week she was Alaska's partner. She was one of the bottom last week. And so Alaska sent her home. And now that they're paired up again, Alyssa wants to prove to Alaska that she still has a lot to give and that she wants to be back in this competition. I'm happy about it. I'm pretty sure I said in my predictions video for this season that I really wanted to see Alaska and Alyssa work together a lot and Alaska and Katya work together a lot. Now we get to see two competitions, I think, that Alaska and Alyssa have worked directly together, and I'm like, yes, give me more of this. So Alyssa and Fifi go and hash things out a little bit. They end up just agreeing to disagree, but I don't know if that is true or not. I think that they kind of just, Alyssa's very mature. You can tell that from even the way that she's like working with Alaska, who just sent her home, even though Alyssa didn't feel like she should go home that week, and a lot of people didn't think she should go home that week. But Alyssa's fine, and she's still working with Alaska this week, who just sent her out. So I think that Alyssa's kind of mature, and so Fifi wants to apologize and just get this over with. She's fine, and she will. That's why Alyssa doesn't seem to be as bothered in the workroom as Fifi does. Fifi seems a little bit upset about something, bothered, blah 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 blah. So I don't know if it is a genuine let's bury the hatch and keep moving forward, but we'll see. And I was kind of surprised that we didn't get to see any Coco-Roxy reunion. Maybe they didn't talk to each other the whole time, or maybe they did and we just didn't get to see it, but I was hoping to see the two of them maybe try to patch things up a little bit because they're friends and Roxy eliminated Coco week 1. So it's time for the comedy challenge, and not only is it in front of a live audience, it is in front of a live audience of Drag Race alumni. I mean, I definitely saw some pork chop, I definitely saw some Laganja, I saw lots of everybody, but Pork Chop's face was not that enthused during the entire thing, which was hilarious. During Roxy's performances, I thought the first time that she came out, she did try, and it wasn't bad. If she had maybe had a better flow with her jokes, it would have totally stuck better. Then when she came out as Toss Ya Salad, I was like, yes, queen, bringing it back. Just like Alaska had brought back something from her season, now Roxy's bringing back something from her season. And I was like, this is great. The first time up, I thought she did really good. The second time, I understood the jokes. And then I think she came out 1 or 2 more times showing, it just kind of kept going a little bit more downhill every time that she came out. But the first one wasn't amazing. I think the second time she went up was a little stronger. I thought Fifi and Coco's set was okay. I wasn't laughing really, but I could understand what they were going for, so I'll give them that. Alyssa and Alaska, beast! So funny. Love them. Oh, they're so good together. Like, is it just me who thinks they're so awesome together? Because I loved it. It was great. I thought Ginger, Minge, and Katya were really funny as well. They had some good jokes going back and forth. And then I thought Detox and Tatiana were hilarious. Oh my gosh, they're so smart. I don't know who wrote most of that, but based on the fact of like Tatiana's talent show and that spoken word piece and the way she constructed it, I don't know if Tatiana had like a huge part in these jokes and writing that. Sitting back after that challenge, I was like, whoa, Tatiana, I feel like she wrote a lot of that, just like the innuendos and the flow. Like Detox is really funny too, so I'm sure she wrote lots of it, but I'm just saying, like, there's like this level of the same as that spoken word thing. It was like snuck in there, and that was so Tatiana. I loved it. So when it came to the judges' critiques, it wasn't really much of a surprise as to what they had to say, like how Roxy could have really stolen the show and that Detox and Tatiana killed it. But in the end, somebody has to win and somebody has to go home and go home again. So Alyssa and Alaska and Tatiana and Detox are the winners, baby, of this week's competition, which means that Alyssa and Tatiana will have to lip sync for their lives back into the game, and also to eliminate one of the bottom queens, and they win 10 G's. So it is like, what is gonna happen? And I'm like, please be Alyssa, but then I'm also like, damn, I'd like to see Tatiana, but please be Alyssa, please. But I'm like, damn, Tatiana, I kind of still want to see more of you. Ru announces that Katya is safe, which means Ginger is going home, and that because Fifi is in the bottom, Coco's going home. So therefore the bottom 2 queens are Roxy and Fifi, and the top 2 queens who are going to be lip syncing, because there's technically 4 top queens this week, is Alyssa and Tatiana. So during the deliberation, Fifi says to both Alyssa and Tatiana that she's not really into butt kissing and she doesn't want to have to beg to stay. And I guess Alyssa doesn't really like that answer, but it's Fifi's decision if she doesn't want a butt kiss. Maybe she felt like she was going home no matter what, so she didn't feel like she had to beg to be there or plead her case. She also tells Tatiana that she thought Tatiana was really funny during the comedy challenge, but couldn't understand anything that Detox was saying. Then it cuts to the confessional room where Tatiana is like, what is Fifi saying? Fifi told Detox that she thought that Detox was funny and that I wasn't, and now she's here telling me that I was funny and she couldn't understand Detox. So she's playing both scripts. She's trying to stir shit up, and what is going on? And Tatiana is like, this is not cool. And I think when she's telling her this, I don't know if maybe this is after, because we didn't see her telling Detox any of this stuff or Detox relaying any information back to Tatiana. So I don't know when that happened, but it's very interesting. So then I'm like, maybe if Tatiana wins the lip sync, she's gonna send Fifi home because she thinks that Fifi's being shady. Alyssa says in the confessional that yes, Roxy's been in the bottom a bunch and Fifi's now been in the bottom a bunch, but Roxy's actually won a lip sync where Fifi hasn't won a lip sync, but she's won a main challenge. I don't know. I think that there's a lot that they're trying to process to figure out what the right decision is gonna be, but I'm thinking that Fifi's going home no matter who wins this lip sync. So it's lip sync time, and wholly on the edge of my seat, that is going to be added to one of my favorite lip syncs of all time. It was almost like there was choreo in there because they were both pulling very similar moves and doing very similar things, and I'm like, whoa, this is sick. They're like working together almost, but apart, and they're both doing their tricks and their jumps and their splits and whatever they had to do. And then when the song is done, Ru says, Tatiana, your winner. And literally my eyes started filling up with water because I was like, I thought Alyssa was gonna win. Honestly, based on that lip sync, I had no idea. I even chicken scratch wrote down close ass lip sync because I was like, I have no idea who is going to win. And then Ru did it. The moment that made me so happy. She says, Alyssa, you're also a winner, baby. And I'm like, yeah. Alyssa is back. The beast is back. She is back in the competition. I am so happy that Alyssa's back in this competition. Then Ru announces, since both of them are saying they both get to eliminate a queen. So if one of them is holding a Fifi lipstick and one of them is holding a Roxy lipstick, they both get to go. But they're both holding Fifi lipsticks and Fifi gets to go home. So Fifi kind of walks off the stage a little hurried, annoyed. She doesn't want to give Alyssa a hug goodbye, but she gives Roxy a hug goodbye, or not Roxy, she gives Tatiana a hug goodbye. Maybe she gives Roxy a hug, I don't remember. But, so they kind of make it look like she walked off angry. I mean, she does, like, she kind of did. I think she was like annoyed that she was going home, but she was upset. I don't know, it was a very weird walk off. I was kind of confused. It didn't feel like, it felt really choppy. Do you know what I mean? Like usually it's like very clean and they're out. This was very like cut. Like it was very like, it was just weird. So Fifi went home. Alyssa and Tatiana are returning to the competition and I'm like, I'm pretty happy, I'm not gonna lie. But if I had to pick, it would be more of Alyssa than Tatiana, but now I get both and I'm like, yes, it's going to be a great competition still. And I think I did the math and I think there's gonna be like, what, 5 more episodes, maybe 6 more episodes this season, and I'm like, yes, eat it up, eat it up. So then also after Fifi's eliminated and she's holding her trophy, she's in the back and she's like saying that she wants to sell the trophy for $10,000 or something, which she was trying to be funny, but because she was in a bad mood, it came off snarky. And then I'm kind of confused because Fifi says that she's only been in the bottom once and that Roxy's been in the bottom 3 times. But girl, you've been in the bottom twice. Week 1 and now week 5. And yeah, Roxy's been in the bottom 3 times. Week 2, week 4, and week 5. So how are you trying to count Roxy's 3rd elimination but not your 2nd one? Like your her 3rd bottom but not your 2nd bottom. It's 2 to 3. It was very close, but Roxy has won a lip sync and you haven't. It was very close if you want to call it like that. But then I'm also like, wasn't she like kind of salty with Alyssa last week because Alyssa was like telling people like, this is the first time I'm in the bottom, and both Katya and Roxy have now been in the bottom twice. And Alyssa's like, and I've also won a lip sync, so shouldn't I stay? Based on Alyssa's method of who should stay and who should go or whatever, which is the method that a lot of fans kind of agree with. And so I was like, it's a little weird. So then when the episode was done, I went on Twitter because I was like, I want to see what Fifi's saying about this episode. And then I found an article, which I'll put in the description down below because right now I can't remember who published the article. And it was an interview with Fifi that Fifi shared on her Twitter, basically explaining the edit and everything that she felt that happened this season. It's definitely an important read if you're a Drag Race fan to read that. Take what you want from it. Fifi is saying, I'm not denying that I didn't say those things, but she's saying that she's maybe forced to say some of those things or told she can't talk, which is giving her these facial expressions of like, you're an ass, I just want to talk, and the producers aren't letting her talk or whatever. From what Fifi's trying to explain to us is that there was a lot of fighting between Fifi and the producers because the producers were trying to portray her one way or the other. They were trying to portray her as maybe a villain again, and so she was feeling like she just wanted to leave anyways. So it was kind of like another Adore moment, but she says in the article that she wishes she left when Adore left or whatever. Adore left for different reasons than Fifi wants to leave, or wanted to leave. There's a lot of drama there, so if you have Twitter, go follow Fifi. She answers a lot of questions as to what's going on. Go read that article. I think it's important of a read. That interview kind of answered a lot of questions for me, but I'm ready for the next episode. Let's bring it on. So I like to end these episodes off with reading a comment from one of you from the previous week and discussing it. Here are the comments this week because all of y'all said the same thing. Basically, everybody felt like, everybody who commented on my videos, not everybody in general, everybody who commented on my video pretty much said that they agree that Alyssa should have stayed and Roxy should have gone. This came from Joel Emerson, Anton Joseph, Toronto-Pia, Cam's Moving Sketchbook, Antonio Valentine. If I said any of your names wrong, I'm sorry. All y'all said basically the exact same thing, right? And I agree 100% with all of you. Thanks again for watching this video, everyone. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about Fifi's exit, what you think about Ru's revenge. Let me know anything you want me to know about your opinion on this episode. I'm so looking forward to the rest of this season and next week and blah, 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 blah. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way you don't miss next week's episode. That's how that works. Ain't that easy? Once again, everyone, my name's Melissa Strange, and until next time, stay strange.